I'm probably the calmest of all of the people that make decisions on the project. I think I'm like, I don't worry enough for the most part. I'm quite chilled out. I don't know. I don't think any of the stuff that comes with making video games is like worth stressing over. Most of it's just time. Like, you stay in the chair long enough, you'll fix the problem, you'll solve the thing, you'll figure it out. There's no point being stressed.
Check. Check. Check.
Many times in the project there's been serious concerns for John's mental health, because he does call you up, very late at night, talking about this purple rabbit and oak trees with guns. And yeah, it's quite worrying actually, especially considering as we've got this split in the studio. On the one hand, we've had Ollie Ollie 2, which I was producing. We brought in a team, we had a core team of about 7 people. We ran it in a very kind of structured way. We brought management systems in, we used assembler, ticketing systems, QA. Then on the other hand, we've got this project called Not a Hero, which is being done by John in his pants in his bedroom, surrounded by hummus and quinoa. And quite frankly, I'm not quite sure how it's got to any stage where it can be released.
I made a list in May 2012 of 3 games I wanted to make. One was a tiny skateboarding game, one was a game that used the bow and arrow. Trying to have that kind of tactile physics thing that Angry Birds has, but with like the randomly generated dungeon thing that Spelunky had. So it's kind of like trying to combine the two. And they sort of reached a point where I was just drawing on the sprite sheet and I drew a little man with a gun instead. Made a little 2D cover system where this guy can like pop in and pop out and shoot and pop back again. So Hackathor is a dungeon crawler for morons. There's only 2 buttons, attack and block. It's the easiest, really, really hard game I've made. Basically all you did is walked into a room and a guy either attacks you or you attack him over and over again until one of you loses like an arm or a face or something. And sometimes you go into a room and there's like a dude in there and you just have a chat with him and he says some weird stuff and it's like No Face the Necromancer, and there was like this like Indian frog shopkeeper, and there was Sushi Sensei who just talks in like broken haikus and stuff like that.
John had created this piece of code which randomly generated dialogue which we'd use in Hackathor.
And most of their voices were generated by like reading Latin out or like reading Thai out. And the only one that doesn't have proper human voice, and I think that's why he works better, is BunnyLord. And BunnyLord is just the sound of an area-covered door squeaking. And now I've oiled the thing, and so BunnyLord's mute is sort of there. Like really quietly. Sad face.
So we took the basic level design from Jeffrey Archer, the slide and shoot cover mechanic from the original You're Not a Hero, and the random word generator from Hackathor, and somehow we've ended up with Not a Hero.
So I'd kind of worked on it on my own for like, I don't know, 8-9 months, and I'd kind of set November as like, I just have to put something out there and see if people actually like this. And I put it out there and just sort of forgot about it. And then John Polston at Indie Games wrote about it and it got like 4,000 something or other downloads in a day and crashed my server. And then we were like on YouTube and there's like French people and Russian people and a Scottish guy who was very excited, who were like doing like 20-minute playthroughs of it. And that's how we ended up showing it to Devolver. So Hotline Miami came out and it was sick and it was like exactly the kind of game I liked. And we were like, we should just get in touch with them.
So John thought it'd be a good idea to write this ludicrous email to Devolver about getting sexually friendly, hijacking planes and seeing if they'd be interested in Not a Hero. And for some bizarre reason, presumably because they're thick, they replied to us within a day.
Yeah, and they like basically replied being like, yeah, we've heard about you and we'd like to have a chat, which was kind of a bit like bizarre. And then I remember they finished the email just saying bonus for life. We weren't sure if that was good or bad, but I assumed it was good.
And we knew we had a fun toy, a fun mechanic, but we didn't know quite how to turn it into a game.
We went through this process with Devolver where they were like, Not a Hero is really cool, but it would be nice if there was a reason why you were shooting all these people, because at that point it was just like a sandbox murder simulator.
So John called me up one day to Tom, I've cracked it, I've got the meta game. There's an anthropomorphic purple rabbit from the future called BunnyLord, and he's come back in time because he needs to save the world, otherwise something terrible is going to happen, and he hires a series of anti-heroes to do his dirty work for him.
It's time to poke crime in its terrible face. Vote BunnyLord. A violent today for a better tomorrow.